Begin topic. Secret epithets of love. Letters / problemata. 2. Dear Sarti from Mayuri. Subject. The illusion of space. I took my friend's advice and stayed at the West Coast while leaving her on the East Coast, thinking that the space between us will make us forget each other in 3 or 4 days, but now I want to shoot that liar myself, as nothing like that happened. And instead, what has happened is the exact opposite. I laugh now when I see the folly in this assumption. As the light of our love can never stop burning, as when it is night for me, it is day for you. So when I sleep, it burns in you. And when the cycle reverses, it burns in me, and thus, like a ring, it keeps on burning even after we die. After all, we are all eternal beings. ... Your Mast-mayuri, the intoxicated peafowl dancing in the rain. 2. Dear Sarti from Mayuri. Subject. Dark horse. I feel like the chess woman who wants to break all the rules and jump like the dark horse and capture the king. But she cannot, because she's no horse. She is the pawn who can only walk the straight line for a short distance only. And if she ever tries to cheat by acting like the strong horse, there is a big chance of her getting caught, because, as I said before, that she's no dark horse. Therefore, if only when she makes peace with her own identity, bears the cross of her own limitations with a smile, can she spend the rest of her life dreaming of her king. Else, the system will take over, declare her mental, and take away her right to be seen anywhere close to where he lives, comes and goes. And if was in their power, they would gladly even put a restraining order on her from meeting her king through dreams even. Yours, Mayuri. 2. Dear Sarti from Mayuri. Subject. Humiliated like a dog, barking without any response. ... Poor me. I was peacefully sleeping with my face under my blanket when you wake me up with a start on seeing you sitting on me. Now, did you not just commit the greatest sin of awakening the serpent of lust in me and then disappearing without fulfilling them? Now my condition is pitiable as can be, as now I feel like a dog who is barking uncontrollably at you all night, but you still not respond. I feel humiliated, low in front of my own eyes, and yet know not why I keep taking the humiliation from the one person I want to show the beautiful side of me. Is this a good thing, to leave someone who loves you in such a wretched state? Your patient Mayuri. To dear Mayuri, from Sarthi. Subject: your medicine. Just listen. You thought all those letters that you sent me are out of love for me and only me. Wrong. Me, being your well-wisher, want to help you come out of this delusion by the awareness of the real secret behind these actions. Once you're aware of the real reason behind your actions, you might be able to get a better hold on your actions. One reason is that middle age for a woman is particularly challenging because of all the hormonal changes that are happening in the body behind the scenes. When a woman reaches her menopause or premenopause, her situation can be seen as a person in front of who is a mountain called old age, for which she will need to prepare herself to climb it with these knees that have already begun to show signs of wear and tear. While on the other hand is optimism, which wants her to grasp onto whatever pleasures which only a youthful body can have. Being a part of this materialistic world where everyone is taking part in a mad rush for increasingly sensual pleasures, she sinks in despair over the choice she has to eat whatever that comes her way, even if that food will have a toxic effect on her. Such is a cursed life, fit only for the mountain birds, who must rely on carcasses that are stale and have a nasty smell. One of the main reasons that you are in this same situation now, like these mountain birds, is due to your fault of violating the laws set by nature for a woman of marrying at the right time, when her body is ready to receive the gifts from Mother Nature. The best way to get out of such a hellish life is to focus on discovering your telos and then be true to it. The answer is in you. All you must do is listen. Your true well-wisher, Sarthi. Dot, dot, dot. End topic. Begin topic. An age-old myth surrounding the dreams being a voice of God finally busted here. / interpreter for communication between different domains. Begin quote. My first enemy is my own soul. Why? Because it is blind and demands from me the most absurd, forbidden action, for while my senses can clearly see how once executed, this society will disown me and never let me live as an honorable member. ... End quote. Mayuri to Brother Chandrasekhar in context of Dr. Sarthi. Since this syntax of the language that a man follows versus the one that a woman does is not the same, it suggests that the gap can result in confusions that sometimes create feelings of tender love and care, but more often we see repulsion from misunderstandings. So, therefore, what I need is a dependable interpreter who can convey to him the right intent in the things that I say and things that I do not. Brother Chandrasekhar. Caution, dear sister. Fooled once, it can be dismissed as a mistake in innocence. Fooled twice, you should stay on alert. Now, if you continue to do the same mistake again, you deserve the severest punishment. Sadly, you are now in the category for severest punishment. Now, you cannot afford to go wrong, as this will mean you will lose whatever little you have left. You cannot afford to err this time. So, if this man in question has some thief hidden in him, it becomes your duty to evaluate his integrity first. Do not become a victim to another deception. Let me remind you of your origins, which started from the humble lanes of Paharganj in the city of New Delhi, India. Sister Mayuri. My energies have been sapped completely. I just now want to lead a life watching others play as an old lady standing on the sidelines, cheering and booing the players in the arena. But I'm unable. Why? Because what is a clue to the mystery of life? Dream. What is love? Dream's content. That is why. Dreams must see pictures drawn by the eye of the eye, voices coming from the ear of the ear, say with the tongue of the tongue. They are not bound with any limitations of what is proper and what is improper. For me to have dreamt of my hero not just once but multiple times tells me just how strongly I want him. Brother Chandrasekhar. I can see how interpreting dreams can lead to many misinterpretations. What you saw is what your body demands. Dreams are like a blind man who can see colorful images as an opportunity to feed their hunger. You say you love him, but really it is toxic lust for someone who happens to be in your hunting grounds, and the dreams see in him an opportunity which conscious mind does not see. You have been single so long that the lust in you has started controlling your actions, is conniving with your mind to capture this only man you are interacting constantly with. These same emotions could easily develop for any other man who would have been in your playing field now. Father Abnash, is a dream not but just a dry run of a scenario slash possibility of an outcome, a kind of help in seeing almost like in a movie format, so you can then know how that life would be if you choose that choice, like a parallel universe almost. If you enjoyed that journey, then you know is worth pursuing, else serves as a good warning about the kind of dangers that lay ahead if you choose to pursue this one instead. Dot dot dot. End topic. Begin topic. The power in surrender to his will. Begin quote. Learn to find pleasure in pain from a woman while giving birth. Savor every moment of it, as the rule is not that the law of averages may prevail, but to be more precise, will. Dot dot dot. Mast-mayuri, the intoxicated peafowl dancing in the rain. End quote. To Dear Mayuri from Sarthi. Subject: How I Conquered an Addiction. My coffee machine broke. Now all I can think is coffee, and all I need is coffee. This made me realize its addictive nature. Then I wanted to control my addiction. Then I realized that you are a good person to ask, as you have proven you can control by going from writing to me long letters from all day down to 0. This observation arouses my hypochondrial curiosity and must get the answer to it. Have mercy on me, O Mother of all, and reveal to me the secret behind your success. How does someone achieve this level of discipline? How did your frail hands move this mountain? Please solve this puzzle for me, else I will die of curiosity. Sarthi. To Dear Sarthi from Mayuri. Subject: The secret to self-control? Complete surrender to his will. Hoi soi jo Ram rachi rakha. Note: only that will happen which Sri Ram wills. From Ramayana. When the very reason that I am alive is your curiosity, then there is no way that I can be someone who discourages you for this attribute in your nature. For that matter, it becomes my ethical duty to answer all your questions earnestly, as your conclusions have the potential of making discoveries that will help the whole mankind. My answer to how I achieved success in controlling my urges for the man who I love even more than myself is this. The instant that I could see my mistake, the same instant I could fix the insanity. The mistake is that all of us tortured people go begging to the tyrant for mercy, not realizing that he's not even the deciding authority, that there is nothing in his hands. Once you begin to see things more closely, you will be surprised when you see how all events work the same way as chemical processes. So, I have concluded that no need to divert our energies in altering or controlling the outside conditions, especially when the variables involved are next to infinite. Instead, we strengthen ourselves from all sides so that the enemy cannot take us down from any side. If what the scriptures say is true about us being eternal beings who have taken several births, then that suggests that there is nothing to worry about, as time is just a myth, death only a rejuvenating kiss. Fire never dies, and hopefully also with it the fire between us two. Mayuri. End topic. Begin topic. Meeting of mother-in-law and daughter-in-law as River Ganga and River Yamuna. Begin subtopic. Wedding acceptance. Meeting of mother-in-law and daughter-in-law as River Ganga and River Yamuna. How did this miracle happen? Well, what is love? A sacrifice to let go, a duty to fly away. What better supporting evidence for this saying than a mother's love for her only son? In this takeover session between daughter-in-law Chandani and the mother of the son Chandrasekhar Aditi, Chandani stays extra careful in ensuring that her dress up, mannerisms, and speech are elegant and formal. Knowing the impact of the verb, first impression is the last impression. Daughter-in-law Chandni first touches her mother-in-law Aditi's lotus feet. This method works like slam dunk. It helps diffuse all tension of ownership battles, as this gesture conveyed that Chandni respects Mother Aditi, the being who bore pain to give birth to a being who is now her caretaker, her husband. Mother Aditi feels so respected that she instantly lifts her from her feet and embraces her with her heartfelt joy. Chandni then sits next to Ma Aditi. Chandni: Ma, you gave birth to a man with character, nourished him with your milk of knowledge and wisdom, which makes me deeply indebted to you. I know very well that the reputation of the relationship between a daughter-in-law and mother-in-law has suffered a lot over ages, but it is time we both be the role models who will restore this relationship back to some respectable levels. Chandni, feeling pleased with her performance, smiles. Ma Aditi too smiles back. She tells a little mother-in-law and daughter-in-law joke which further lightens the mood. Ma Aditi: the story says that Queen Sita preferred to go for exile because of her love for her husband, but the grapevine says that she rather be without any comforts of the palace than go through torture of living with 3 mother-in-laws. All share a good laugh when they understand the irony part in the joke. Ma Aditi continues with her charming smile. You mentioned earlier that you are indebted to me for bringing my son in this world, and then even more for bringing him up as a man of character. It is true, and yet, in a way, it is not, as I am just a caretaker of this property. Now that the real owner of this property has come, the test of my love begins. This property I have cared for with my blood and sweat, nourished him with my own milk. I got attached to this property, so much so that even if we are 2 separate bodies, I treated it as one. But now I must rip it off from my body by myself and then hand it back to its real owner. Yes, my heart is bleeding. My tears will not listen to me. My sorrow is immeasurable, and yet, respecting love, I too sacrifice my own selfish desires of binding my son to my bosom all my life, passing the burden to you. When he forgets me, I will be happy knowing that you are taking good care of him, that you are indeed the woman for him. My blessings are with you in becoming successful as a good wife, which will make you also a good mother, and thus gifting me also the happiness which comes on meeting the grandchildren. I must have done many charitable deeds in my past life to get a daughter-in-law like you. You have won my heart. May you always prosper and be blessed with many sons and grandsons. ... End subtopic. Begin subtopic. Wedding games. लातों के भूत बातों से नहीं मानते. Meaning, these scoundrels only listen to the language of kicks. Talking is a waste of breath. An ancient Indian saying. Chandrasekhar, addressing a small gathering of both families in a religious engagement ceremony. Now that all the hurdles in getting the bridegroom and bride together have been crossed, I am in favor of a simple and nice wedding which will serve as a good opportunity for both families to mingle, to become a bigger family. Let all our loved ones too share and become a part of our blessings and joy. Being a traditional Indian wedding, after all the prayers and promises of allegiance with the sacred fire and the super kundalini as the witness have been done, the custom also demands that the groom put a garland of acceptance around the bride's neck, and then the bride does the same. Now, this seems like a simple task, but there is a major lesson of the victory in surrender in love games in this little custom too, as to put garland around the taller bridegroom's neck, the bride will have to take help with him to complete the task, as without him bending his head in front of her, she cannot fulfill it without taking the risk of toppling all over him, revealing to the whole world her impatience of embracing him, thereby embarrassing her whole family. Now, when the bride Chandani looks at the groom Chandrasekhar, expecting him to bow his head, all young men from his side start shouting for him to not bend his head, as otherwise, as the Oman says, that if he bends his head now, he is likely to keep bowing his head to all her wishes for the rest of his life. With this concern starts a new round of tough negotiations. While all negotiations were coming to a standstill, someone from the girl's side shouts that the bridegroom must bend his head now, as the auspicious time is now, and if not respected, the marriage will not bring much joy. When the bride hears that, she panics and instinctively punches the bridegroom hard in his stomach, and lo and behold, he bends his head as a reflex action. The bride does not lose this opportunity and at once puts the garland around the groom's neck. Then she giggles shyly over her victory, and everyone, including the loser groom's side, start to laugh heartily. The groom, Chandrasekhar, smirks with his mischievous smile and laughingly says, "Beware, darling, I will make you pay for this by having you pay me back with the gifts of love." Understanding the innuendo hidden in his remark, she blushes. Seeing her blush, he feels a warm, tingling current run through his body from the head down to the toe. ... End subtopic. End topic. Begin topic. Ladder for a leap. Birth of an immortal daughter / the last heavy night. Begin subtopic. The rejuvenating kiss. Death. To Dear Mayuri from Sarti. Subject. Like a phoenix rising from its ashes. Since this news that I am now about to deliver you has to do with your past, I would like to begin with cautioning you first. Memory is a thief who steals the current moment from the present to give it to the past. And so, a brave person is one who fights for a cause and not for winning, and has the courage to walk away from the battlefield once the war is long over. It takes a lot for me to be surprised, but this new piece of table tilting news got me. My specialty is not in delivering news in a diplomatic manner, yet is my burden. So, pardon me if, without putting any positive or negative spin to the news, I plainly convey you the news as is. You are pregnant. Also, the report mentions that you have also contracted a venereal disease, which was never till you got pregnant. Therefore, I can now see the need of educating people on safe, intimate touch. This is one of the main reasons that most cultures promote monogamy or else a harem of tested people only versus a polygamous society without any restrictions. The whole taboo nature associated to this topic is understandable, as the moment I started to talk about it with you, I myself could feel an awkwardness come over me. So I will not be surprised if you too feel the same way. I had a candid conversation with the man responsible, Faust, and it looks like he is not in a good mental state himself due to many misunderstandings that are now serious enough to destabilize his own marriage. Since he too can see all the risks involved in a woman of age who has medical conditions, getting pregnant now is neither safe for the baby nor the mother. He will cooperate throughout the process of abortion all the way from start to finish. Beyond this brief communication, he refused to comment any further. From your doctor, Sarti. End subtopic.